Hi, I'm Dr. Heidi Horsley, Executive Director for the Open to Hope Foundation, and I'm here today talking with Dr. Judith Stillion, who is a psychologist and past president of the Association for Death Education and Counseling. She has taught psychology of death and dying for 40 years and has written 4 books and almost 100 articles and journals. And we're talking today about positive psychology. And Judy, my first question for you is, what is positive psychology?
Positive psychology really is a new school of psychology.
Judy, how does positive psychology differ from other theories of psychology?
Well, in the early days in psychology, we kind of adopted the medical model, what's come to be known as cripple psychology. And what positive psychology does is it takes people from a position of strength and moves them to a position of even more strength. So it's a wonderful model for helping people who are essentially normal but are in a bad place in life.
Why is positive psychology useful with grievers?
Well, positive psychology uses 6 virtues and 25 strengths that are organized in a way that help people to identify their own strengths as well as the strengths of the people around them. You know, grief is a normal emotion, and if we live long enough, we're going to lose somebody that we love. It's not a psychological illness. It does not need, except in rare cases, to use the medical model or the old psychological model.
Yeah, and I like what you're saying, and I think it's important for those out there that are watching this and that are grieving right now. Most of what people are going through, like you said, is normal. Normal reactions to a loss. Very, very important. Which of the strengths have been most useful for grief groups?
We begin with the strength of persistence under the virtue of courage, because just getting up in the morning when you've had a loss and your whole world seems shattered is a difficult task sometimes. And persisting in the face of loss is something that they need to find a way to do. Also, forgiveness under temperance, forgiveness of self because I didn't do enough for my loved one, or forgiveness of the loved one because they died and left you. And then the strengths under the virtue of transcendence. These are the ones we spend a lot of time on. Those strengths are humor and playfulness, hope, gratitude, spirituality, and appreciation of beauty and excellence. And we use those strengths because the definition of the virtue of transcendence is it takes you out of yourself and it gives you a broader view of the world. And that's what grieving people often need if they're not going to close in on themselves and become just a suffering human being.
And is that why people say that when they start to give back and help others, it helps them to heal?
Exactly, exactly.
Okay.
Because it moves them outside of themselves, and that's one of the exercises we do. Do you want an example?
I would love one. I was going to ask you what those look like.
Well, one of the examples that Seligman uses in his courses is what he calls a blessings exercise, where you, at night, when you get ready to go to bed, you think of 3 blessings that happened to you during the day, and they can be very small things like, it was wonderful that I had a wonderful cup of Starbucks coffee this morning. They can be small things, but they can be big things too. What they do is open you up again so that you experience gratitude. And if you're in a grateful mode, if you're living in a sense of gratitude, it's very hard to be depressed because you know that you have many, many blessings.
Is there anything else you'd like to share with us today?
Well, I guess I would like to summarize by saying I believe that the strengths approach is one that not too many people are using yet.
I agree.
Dying and bereaved people. And yet it's such a natural strength. What you want to avoid is being stuck in the mire of grief. Some catharsis is necessary, of course, but if all the grief group does is provide a place for catharsis, then you're not moving people to a position, from a position of strength to a position of even greater strength. And that's what I think positive psychology applied to grief groups can do.
Very, very good. Okay, Dr. Stillion, and I'm also looking forward to your upcoming book on positive psychology. I know it's not out, but I did want to put it out there because I know you're in the process of writing a book about this.
Yes, I am. But I'm not sure when it will be done.
Okay, stay tuned. Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
My frosty breath this morning, hints of passing time. Strings of memories on the tree are trying hard to cheer me. Gifts are tied and waiting, the day will soon be here. And I wonder what I'd give to you if you were here this year. And there's a candle in the window that will shine for you tonight. I will see you, I will feel you in the warm glow of its light. I will see you, I will feel you. Today's the day I add another candle to my cake. Can't remember when I've turned that page without you in my life. Balloons are tied and waiting, friends will soon be here. And I'm wondering what you'd give to me if you were here this year. And there's a candle in the